Hello everybody, it's Monday morning and I've got a very nasty job to do. But I wanted to bring this point up because I'm quite impressed with this car. It's an Audi A4. Let me take you for a quick walk around it. I do like Audis. I think they're very nice looking motor cars. The problem I've got with them is that they're not very easy to bloody fix. If anyone has to fix, if you're an Audi technician, you probably know what I mean, but you're used to it, you know what you're doing. Someone like me, I hardly ever get on Audis, and when I do, they're quite complicated and high tech, and they're not the easiest of things to fix. But it's like everything, I guess. If you know how to do it, it can become quite easy then. It's not knowing it is half the problem. Like this particular car's an 04 plate. Start off with, the wheel bolts, they were flipping tight. I had to use a bar with a flipping trolley jack handle on the end of it to undo them. They were that bloody tight. But what I'm actually doing on this car is passenger front inner drive shaft joint, the CV boot is split. I've already unbolted it, but you've got, this is what I find really nice, I'm quite impressed with this. You've got 6 M10 bolts, they've got the spline head in them. I've undone them, they were easy enough, fair enough. There's also, where is it, 17mm bolt which goes in the centre of your hub, this one here. And flipping heck, you know what, once again I had to put the wheel back on, put a 21mm socket on this, and I had to literally flipping stand on a jack handle to undo that. That was really tight, but it undone, and it stinks as well. When it comes out, it absolutely stinks of the oil that's in there, or the grease. But yeah, I thought, as in most cars, in order to remove a front drive shaft, you have to either disconnect maybe your top suspension or get the shocker out of the way, or disconnect the bottom suspension arms. So that's what I was expecting. But all of a sudden, I realised that once I'd undone the 6 spline bolts in there, I thought to myself, hang on a minute, all of a sudden it seems like there's a lot of room. The drive shaft can move around quite a bit. So I then put a pin punch in here and just pushed the drive shaft. It wasn't seized or nothing, and it literally, I'll have to give it another tap to get it out, I think. Now I've pin punched the drive shaft out of the hub, it's like just floating around, so I can just offer it in there. There's so much room in there, and I can literally just lift the drive shaft clean out. There. Woohoo! And I haven't had to disconnect any of the suspension whatsoever. I thought that was bloody cool. That's made my morning, because I wasn't looking forward to undoing them bottom suspension arms. I guess now the question is, will this inner drive shaft joint come apart quite easily so I can replace this broken boot? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to bust these clips off, because I'm going to be putting new clips on anyway. So get them out of the way and pull this. I'm wondering if there's a clip holding this joint on or not. Oh no. All the grease is coming out. Yuck. Yeah, I think this is one of them joints that they'll come to the end like that. You're going to have to sort of like give it a tap to knock it off, because I don't think I've come across this on the Mark IV Mondeos. You literally have to give them a bang, because there's like this joint's been crimped in a little bit, so you've got to bang them off. Yeah, I'm not liking these. I know that the Mark IV Mondeo 2-litre diesels on them gearboxes, the inner drive shaft joints are the same. they've been crimped in this metal casing, so that you can't physically pull this off to stop the joint coming apart. So you've got to knock it off. Now I've got 2 choices here. I can either knock it off, or I can take off the outer CV boot and joint, knock the front other joint off and slide this boot off. I'm going to have a quick go at seeing if this comes off. It's coming. That's one bit off. I've just turned the drive shaft round a little bit so I can get onto it better. It's nearly off. Oh God. Let's turn it round a little bit more. I'll position the bin below so we can catch it. And I still miss the bin. There. So I would probably be easier taking the other flipping joint off, you know. But anyway, now that's off, it's just a case of make sure these bearings don't fall off. I've just got to see if there's an actual circlip at the end of this. Yeah, there is. Right, I shall try and attempt to remove this circlip. Come on. Oh, it's coming. There we go. One circlip. Right, I have a nice long chisel. Hopefully this will come off. It's coming off, but I will say it's pretty tight. Hey, that's it. Bingo. There. I've actually marked the end of this with some Tipp-Ex just to make sure it goes back on the same way it came off. But now there's another circlip there which the bloody bearings butt up against. But I'm not sure whether that's actually got to come off or not. The new boot might just pull over that circlip. Yuck. Disgusting. Horrible job, CB boots. Absolutely covered it in crap. But yeah, that's it. That's it all off. So I'll get my new boot, put it on and hope it goes back together. A lot of these inner drive shaft boots, they've got special like notches in them, so they only fit on to the actual joint in one position. So anyway, I'm going to see if this boot goes on. In actual fact, it doesn't look like it's going to go over that circlip in a hurry. So I'm just going to wonder if I can remove this circlip. Yeah, circlip off. That will make life a lot easier. Now I should be able to slide this straight on. Yeah, that's it. Wonderful. Now, this is a good pair of circlip pliers, especially when you're doing gearboxes. Bingo, that's all back in place. This is where it gets dodgy. I'm going to put that there and put my socket there so I can whack it. And hammer. See if we can whack it back on. It's only going to go so. Actually, the problem I've got now is because the centre bit of the drive shaft's coming through. I think that's going to hit my socket, so I'm not going to be able to push it all the way. But I will finish it off with the chisel. And actually you can't see it here, but the circlip I put on this butts up against the circlip, so it'll only go on so far, and that is actually right on. So all I've got to do is pop this circlip back on, which is fiddly, but come on, get on. There, that's in. More mess. Let's not forget the stinking grease we've got to fit. So I'm going to squirt all that grease into that boot. Yuck. It's a different colour to the grease that was already in there, but this is what they supplied with the boot, so this is what's going in. Oh, I don't like doing drive shaft boots at the bloody best of times. Right, okay. The actual grease that's in here is all nice and clean still, so I'm still going to reuse it. So we're going to pop that on there, and now the object is to get these in the right angle and whack it on. Oh, that's one gone on already. So what I'll do, I'll turn the whole thing round. See if I can whack another one on. Okay. Bingo. Ooh, we're in. And you see, because this is cribbed, it's not going to come off again. It's just a bit daunting having to whack it off. But anyway, that now should push on. Yes, that's it. We're in business. I should have pointed this out earlier. These clips, the small one, some clips on some drive shaft boots you have to fit before you actually put the boot on. I should have showed that earlier. But this clip here was one that springs right out, so I could just go around the drive shaft with it afterwards, so it doesn't matter. But it is best to put these on before you put the boot on. So anyway, I've got the right pliers here, and these will crimp that up. There, nice and tight. Now for the for the big clip. I'm not keen on a lot of these bloody clips they supply. Some of them are really trashy. Some kits have really good ones, but this isn't the best. I've seen a lot worse. So, right, crimp that one up. Done. Lovely. That's it. One inner drive shaft boot fitted. This car's going to probably have to go for its MOT shortly, so it would have failed an MOT test with that split boot. So anyway, that's all done. So I'm now going to bang this back on, and in the reverse order of taking it apart. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to show, was not how to change the boot, but I was just impressed by how this drive shaft was able to be removed without disconnecting any of the suspension. So oh, that's all I have to say. So anyway, I'll get on. So I'll get on to the next job. If I find anything else, I'm sure to show you. So to the next one, see ya.